Today's topic is Maneesha Panchakam, written by Adi Shankara in 7th century. Advaita is not a hobby. I just wanted to give some few introduction. Advaita is not a hobby. Advaita is, in spite of its vast literature, it is easily summed up in a few words. And Shankara has done a remarkable job in many places. It has to be listened actively, contemplated, comprehended, asking questions, get clarified, and then convince yourself. So spiritual evolution is a process. There is no fast track. There is no shortcut, no skipping. So it is much deeper knowledge than what we have learned so far. And we'll go step by step. And these are not to judge anyone, but to see, self-reflect, self-assess, where am I? That is the process. It is a do-it-yourself program on our own personal growth. So with that, we are starting with the Maneesha Panchakam. Maneesha Panchakam is a text of 5 verses with Advaita focus, non-duality, one alone is. There is a popular story that many of you have heard of about this, but we'll start with that story. In 7th century, Shankara had a holy dip in Ganges, the sacred river of North India. And as he was walking in a narrow path with his disciples, he came across a person, and he was referred as Chandala. A Chandala is described as an outcast. Not in India, the caste system is happening, is always there. So he's an outcast, jati in Tamil, or one who is an outcast, or one who burns the dead bodies, swapachaha, dog eater. It is mentioned in Yoga Vasishta, verse number 11, or unhygienic. So Shankara's disciple asked him to move away from the path of their guru. And Shankara also says, gacha, gacha, move, move. So Chandala replies to that statement by Shankara to Shankara. Upon hearing that question from the Chandala, Shankara at once realizes that this person is a jnani, self-realized person. Instantly, he prostrates that person and then chants 5 glorified verses on that subject. So Maneesha means firmly, solidly, strongly, unconditionally, a strong conviction. Panchakam is a combination union of 5. Since Chandala's question reflected that he was a realized one, all the at least first 2 verses, 5 out of the 5 verses, last 2 lines of the first verses goes like this: whoever has this knowledge, whether he is a Chandala or a Brahmana, as a society calls Brahmin to be, he alone is my guru. This is my firm conviction. We could ask, how can Shankara, a jnani, could say those words? Shankara shed his body at the age of 32. He has explained so many scriptures and given several texts. He was probably not very firm, Brahmanishta, they call it, very, very firm at that point. Like intellectual understanding is there, but it is not actually expressed completely. But what made him great was he just prostrated to that person. How many of us will treat a homeless person just like anybody else, like our family member or our friends? So he just prostrated immediately and said that you are my guru. That humility. It takes humility to accept the weakness when pointed out by others. especially by an individual like Chandala. There are several books that refer that Shankara is a Shiva's avatar. But it is also referred in some places that Chandala is Shiva's avatar. Let us not go into those things because those are opinions. Now, otherwise we'll come which Shiva prostrated to which Shiva. There are two Shivas. So let's just go that stick to this. Shankara is Angani, met a Chandala. Another human being came in front of him with a different lifestyle. And this incident took place. Let's not get into this avatars. That is what, even though it is rewritten many times by different people, their opinions are also added into it. So we want to be very careful what we read. Chandala appeared, Shankara saw the knowledge in him, and he accepted him as a guru. That's all, simple. So what was Chandala's response? Upon hearing the words move away from Shankara, Chandala asked, what should move from what? That is, he is separating everything into two. One is Jada, inert object. Second one is Chit, Chaitanya, Swarupa, which is knowledge. So did you ask the body to move or did you ask the Atma to move? Here, what is Atma? We have heard several things in India, Tattvamasi, you are that. What is that? When you say you are that, what is that? That is Sat, Chit, Ananda, existence, consciousness, bliss. Existence is Sat in Trikale, that means 3 periods of time. It is not the past, present, and future. It is before knowledge, during knowledge, and after knowledge. Chit is Chaitanya, knowledge, consciousness, not conscious of. Consciousness should be written with a capital C. If you write small c, that is the ego. I am conscious of the pen here. So that is the difference we need to understand. Consciousness is capital C, awareness is capital A. How can I be that? Now we see the computer, we see the phone, we see all the different things. Now look at this hand. When I say hand, I say this is my hand and it is seen. So it cannot be me. It's an object. I am the subject. All of us, everyone is a subject. Anything that is seen is an object. So let's do a 30-second exercise. Close your eyes and visualize this. You're walking on the street. You're smelling a flower. Suddenly a strong breeze hits you and you feel the coolness. You hear the branch falling. You see a car coming with a screeching halt because a dog ran through the street. And you see an ambulance with a sirens. You see all this and then you walk back because it is very windy. Now you open your eyes. What you saw was none of this really happened. You saw your mind. Everything was in your mind. None of this really happened. Right? So this confirms that you are the seer and all the objects, including your mind, are seen. Everything is seen. You are the seer. Aham and idam. I and this. Anytime you say this, that is not you. That seer is Atman, existence, consciousness, bliss. This body, mind, equipment operates because of that presence, that inner presence. This object, in line 2, verse number 1, he says, this Atman is the same in all beings, whether it is an ant, mosquito, dog, cat, elephant, human, everywhere. This is only one Atman in all beings. Now coming to Chandala's question, are you asking this body to move or that Atman to move? The seer or the seen? In case you are asking the body to move, Chandala says, Annamaya, Annamaya. That is, this body is made up of food and your body is also made up of food. Both bodies are made up of food. Maybe your body is made up of vegetables and fruits, and my body is made up of meat. But both are going to perish one day. Or Chaitanyameva Chaitanyat. Your consciousness from my consciousness. Your Atma, that Atma from this Atma. You can't say that also, because Atma is only one and it is all pervasive. It is everywhere, in everything. So Achalam cannot move. Where can Atma move? So you cannot ask the body to move because it is Jatam, inert. You don't talk to a computer, you don't talk to a cell phone or a pen. You talk through it. You use it as a tool. You could not have asked Atman to move because it is all everywhere and all pervasive, and it cannot move because it is Achala. What needs to move from what? That is his question. And Chandala clarifies this question with two examples. The sun reflects on the surface of Ganges and also at the street corner of dirty, stagnant drain water. Does it become holy because it reflects on Ganges? Does it become unholy because it reflects on the street corner, dirty water? That is first question. Second one, he's saying there is space inside a clay pot, and there is a space inside a gold pot. So does it make any difference to space? Does it take a higher grade because it is in gold pot? Does it take a lower grade because it is in a clay pot? Similarly, will that Atman be affected because it is in this meat-eating body or the fruit-eating body? Your words have no relevance. Both bodies are made up of food, sustained in food, and eventually perish, decomposed to food, to be food. This body is inert and cannot move. What do you want to move from where? Instantly, Shankara realized that this individual is a self-realized. So the lesson here is we should not judge anyone by their appearance or lifestyle. So in this text, the first verse is Shankara's statement, move away, move away. The second one is a brief description from Chandala. And then Shankara sings 5 verses. Those 5 verses are Maneesha Panchakam. So in verse 1, line 1, in each verse, Shankara explains the Jiva Brahma Aikyam, that is the Atman and Brahman both are one and the same. The inner presence in every being is the same as the universal presence. Atman is equal to Brahman. Atman activates individual being. Brahman activates the universe, Prapancha. Both are one and the same. And he gives an example. We have Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti, that is waking state, dream state, and deep sleep state. Every being goes through that. There is one passing thing that goes through all the 3 states. That is the witness, Sakshi, of all events. When I'm waking now speaking, it is there. When I'm dreaming, it is there. When I'm sleeping in deep sleep, it is there. That's why I know I slept. Who knows who slept and who is waking up? Who knows that? I know what happened yesterday because of that one is piercing through all the three states of beings. The inner presence is the witness of all the three states of being. That is which is very clearly visible, present, which is present. We can see that in all beings, from Brahma to ant, is the same. Brahma here is B-R-A-H-M-A-A, the creator, the generator. That is why God is Trinity here. Generator, operator, dissolver. Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva. But Nirguna Brahman is beyond that. And that is what you are. That is what I am. We are all that Nirguna Brahman. But we don't know that. That is the witness of all action, without any association, without any action, and not the seen. That is the seer. Drig Drishya Vivekam. There is a book. Drig is the one who is the seer. Drishyam is the seen. So I am the seer. You are the seer. Everything else is the seen. So he describes the individual's consciousness in all five senses. We get this individual consciousness, what experiencing through the senses and three states of experiences. Proto Jagat Sakshini, the inner present Atma, is in all and is the substratum of all. That alone is. One who recognizes this, one who has this knowledge, that I am the seer and everything else is seen. I am the knower, everything else is known. One who has that firm determination, knowledge of the self, the inner presence, is my guru. Whether he is a Chandalan or a Brahmin, he alone is my guru, is my firm conviction. Verse 1. Now we go to verse 2. This verse is the gist of all Upanishads. He put it in 5 verses, the entire Upanishads. There is no absolute unnecessary verbiage. Everything is gist of Upanishad. Here he says, I, the inner present Atman, is the Brahman. Atman at the microcosmic level, Brahman at the macrocosmic level. The entire universe came out of me. Shankara is not referring to himself, but he is referring to the person who has that knowledge. When you sleep, where is the universe? You don't even know whether you are in a bed or in a sofa or on a mat. You don't know anything about this universe. You don't know who you are. All the paraphernalia dissolves. I am so-and-so, so-and-so's daughter, so-and-so's in relations, or my position. Everything completely dissolves. Every appearance. When you wake up, everything comes back. Every appearance originated from me, the consciousness. Not conscious of, that is of the mind. All are due to this illusionary power called Maya. Just like when you see a snake on a rope, the snake never existed. It is just an illusion in the mind without any real existence. Anything that exists, that appears to exist, is that one existence with a capital E. This is the highest state of knowledge, profound, difficult concept for a human understanding, because we experience struggles and sufferings on a day-to-day basis. He says, I am the architect of that Ishwaran also, that Brahma, the creator. So one who has this knowledge on that permanent, ever-present, absolute Whether he is a Chandalan or Brahmin, he is my Guru, and that is my firm conviction. So the summary of verse number 2 is, I am Brahman. The entire universe came out of me. Even Brahma is my creation. I created Brahma. I am the cause of all appearances. And I refers to you. That is in that embodiment, that in that body. I in this body. One who has the strong knowledge on this is my Guru, and that is my strong conviction. Now we can ask, how is that possible? From my experience, I see the world. I experience the pain, pleasure, relationship. How can all come out of me? Shankara gives an example. He's taking us from the known to unknown. The known is a dream. We all have experienced a dream. We have several experiences in the waking state, and all these form an impression in our subconscious mind. And those impressions appear in the dream state. Those experiences are the material cause for the dream. In the dream, 5 senses do not operate. You don't need eyeglasses when you're sleeping. Without eyeglasses, you can see everything. Without hearing aid, you can hear everything. Right? So Shastras calls these 5 senses as 5 gates, golam, 5 gates, entry point for all the things to come into us, for the Atman to experience all this. The body is indeed, at that point when we sleep, when you are even in the dream state, the body is silenced, but the mind is active. It has nothing to see except to recall impressions. In the dream state, a whole new world appears. A tiger may chase you, a snake may threaten you. Fear, you experience the fear, the emotion, and pain or pleasure. Emotions are expressions of thoughts. You will see yourself interacting with others, situations, and other people in your dream. Who created them? Where did they all come from? Where did they originate from? You are both the seer and the seen in a dream. The Maya Shakti with its Avarana Shakti, that is the covering power, veiling power, it covers the fact that they originated from your mind alone. All those appear to be real as long as you are in that plane. In that plane, the waking state and the deep sleep state both do not exist. When we are in the waking state, the dream state and deep sleep state do not exist. So we live in different planes, right? In spite of my mind being the cause of the dream, in the dream state, I am an entity interacting with others, and I see myself. I see all others who are different from me, and they are all created by the mind. These are different for each individual. They are not the same. My dream is different from your dream. The dream is different from the creator, triggering emotion, angry, happy, sad. I am different from them. Still, they give me the pain and pleasure until I wake up. When I wake up, everything and everyone that I interacted with, they are all from me, and they subside in me. That is why Sarga Sthiti Layam, everything originated in me, they sustained in me, and they dissolved in me. Just like I created me in the dream, and was one of the active participant in the dream, dividing myself into two, the seer and the seen. So also in the waking state, the scripture says this is a long dream. The waking state is a long dream. Kathopanishad also, Yama says to Nachiketa, be aware of that knowledge. Vivekananda says, Uttishtaha, Jagrataha, arise, awake, get up, wake up, and stop not until that goal is reached. Very famous in 19th century. Swami Vivekananda was not talking to students who were sleeping. They were active listeners. Even in that state, the disciple was in dream state with reference to the universe according to scriptures. Now, what is sleep? Forgetting who I am is sleep, resulting in creating my own world, which is not accessible to others, but only to me. I am suffering, I am poor, I am struggling. I create a world, I am the entity in that world. I interact and experience in that world. Similarly, in the waking state, I am different from this world. This world is giving me all challenges, struggles, and sufferings. This is all Maya. Just like we wake up from the dream state to waking state, we need to wake up from this waking state to realize that I am that. Aham Brahmasmi. Waking state is also a dream. Know that, says Shankara. Realizing that inner presence, Atma, is to wake up. This entire universe, all appearances are from me. One who has such a knowledge and a strong determination, whether he is a Brahmin or Chandala, he is my Guru. That is verse number 2. The summary of verse 2 is, I am Brahman, I am consciousness, I am capital A, awareness, I am capital C, consciousness, Atman, not this body and mind. I am the witness of all this. The entire universe originated in me. Everything is my imagination. I am the cause of all activities and movements. I, the inner presence. How is this possible? I am experiencing them. How can they originate from me? Just like in a dream, the mind creates a new world, and the individual jiva experiences the pain and pleasure, anger and fear, fun and laughter. Just like when we wake up, we realize that we saw and experienced was a dream. Now one realizes this life is a longer dream upon waking up, upon getting that Atmajnana. So that's what Shankara is saying. One who has that knowledge that I am the creator, everything is created by me. When I'm asleep, I don't know anything. But when I wake up, I see everything. Everything is created by my mind. One who has that knowledge on a day-to-day basis is my Guru, whether he is a Chandalan or a Brahmin. Verse 3, it's not easy for us to accept. It's not easy for us to accept that I created this world. So Shankara explains further. Akilam Vishwam Shashvanashvaram. Line 1 in verse number 3. Everything in this universe is depreciating. Perishing in every nanosecond, 1/1000th of a second. A property, we have a property, it's 100 years old, but from the time it was constructed, it started depreciating. It doesn't just fall after 100 years. Similarly, with anything and everything in this universe, including our bodies, will depreciate over time with different conditions, each organ of the body giving indications. That which changes is not permanent. The entire creation is constantly perishing. Therefore, I must not lean on those perishing universe. The strong conviction, the stronger I will be, I will lean on the one that is permanent. Nishchaya Vacha Guru. The seeker can grasp this knowledge. The seeker who can grasp this knowledge as an information with the help of Guru teaching need to inquire, self-analyze, and go with that Nitya inquiry of what? When you say inquiry of what? Inquiry of that Nitya Brahman. Nityam is permanent, ever present. Because everything else is anitya, temporary. So Nirantaram, how long should I inquire? Nirantaram, continuous inquiry on a daily basis. Who am I? What is this body? What are this that I see? Nothing is appear. They're all appearance. That's why they are called appearance. They just appear like a kaleidoscope. Nothing is real. The seeker alone could inquire, decide, get convinced. Guru cannot teach or decide for the others. Individual, it's a DIY, do-it-yourself program. Individually, we have to keep on inquiring and develop a firm conviction that this universe is temporary. It is all an appearance, illusion. A guru and scriptures can only point out the direction. Shraddha in Guru and scriptures would help the seeker to get into this self-inquiry. That is Jnana Yoga, self-inquiry. The Brahma knowledge is often compared to fire. This fire would burn the Sanchita and Agami karma, entirely zeroes them out. Sanchita is the accumulated karma that we have, bank balance, that we bring some to spend. During that process of spending, we also increase our credit, we also increase our debit, that gets accumulated as Agami karma. When the self-knowledge, when we know I am that, all these things are zeroed out. But the prarabdha karma persists. Once it starts, it continues till it ends. Until then, the body will continue to perform. Because upon gaining knowledge, Brahma knowledge, if the body perishes, there won't be any good teachers, realist masters. Right? The ignorant will be teaching the ignorant. The blind will lead the blind. There won't be any realist enlightened to lead. These realized ones, even though they face challenges, they surrender to prarabdha, meaning they accept what life offers to them. They do not get elated or depressed. I'm not this body, so anything that happens to the body is not mine. My car outside is punctured. It's not me. It is my possession. It is my tool to transport. My cell phone doesn't work. It is my tool. to interact. Nothing has happened. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me, right? So such a person who knows this, that a chanda, whether he is a chandala or Brahmin, is guru. That is my firm conviction. A summary of number 3, verse number 3 is Jagat is Nitya, appearance, illusion. Brahman is Satyam, the truth. Each individual jiva needs to analyze what is permanent. Who am I? Who am I? Where did I come from? Why am I here? What is the purpose of my existence? We have to keep inquiring that. It's not just cooking, eating, sleeping, going to job, getting a paycheck, buying a home or a car. That's all insignificant. There is a bigger thing that we need to understand, we need to know, find out. Upon self-realization, the consequences of karma are all burnt thoroughly. A jnani who is realized one surrenders one's life to prarabdha and is always in peace without getting agitated, perturbed on any situation that he faces. Such an individual is my guru, and that's my strong conviction. Vacho Guru refers to Mahavakya, Tattvam Asi. You are that. You are not this body. You are that inner presence referred as Atman. Atman and Brahman are not two. They are only one. Same. Now verse number 4 and 5. Acharya is repeating the same message for emphasis. You know, we always tell our children, did you take this? Did you forget it? I'm reminding again, we keep saying that same thing Acharya is doing us. He knows we are all ignorant. We have to repeat it again and again. We have to listen over and over to get this completely grasp this. He gives the entire self-knowledge in first 2 verses. And the third one is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya. This is full Vedanta. First 3 verses, he has done the whole Vedanta. That which is I, the real witness, is the knowledge. I am the seer, I am the consciousness. I illumine the entire universe. We often say that the cloud is covering the sun. How can the cloud cover the sun? It is only covering my eyesight. The cloud itself is illumined by the sun. We are able to see the very fact that I see the cloud means that cloud is illumined by sun. Similarly, the inner presence, the Atma, is veiled and covered by this BMI or the impure mind, when in fact it is visible. Everything is visible. This body is visible because of that Atman in present. This body is functional because of that Atman. I can see my hand because of that Atman is present here. Without that inner presence, there will not be any activity in this body. This body will not speak. This body will not see. The body will not stand. Nothing will happen. That presence is there. That alone is activating this body, mind, and intellect. And that is you. Remember that. You are that Tattvam Asi. One who has this knowledge, whether he is a Chandalan or Brahmin, he is my guru. That is my strong conviction. In verse 5, he says that Brahman is bliss. All beings experience pleasure, joy, happiness, jubilation, contentment only from there. Only from that bliss. Taittiriya Upanishad mentions that all are proportionately enjoy that bliss. The bliss is anantam, limitless, akandam. You just get a little bit of it. Like when we go and stand near a waterfall, you experience that bliss. When you see a huge mountain, you experience it. No other thought comes at that time. That is the experience of bliss. It's proportionate. Animals don't enjoy music. A donkey can carry a load of books. Donkey cannot read and enjoy. Each one's happiness is proportionate and in a gradation. An ant is satisfied with their grain of rice, whereas other animals need more, and human needs much more. Shankara says all these are expressions of that one supreme. Saints, sages, realized ones experience that supreme in silence, without any likes and dislikes, completely content. Because our mind is impure, we have lots of likes and dislikes. I like this person, I don't like that person, he is this, she is this, I don't like this situation. All these are in our mind, which is like ripples in the water. When there are ripples in the water, you cannot see the reflection of moon. We have to clean it up. It should be still. At that point, there is when we are at that point, there is no longer a Jivan, but Brahma alone is. One who has this knowledge is whether he's a Chandala or a Brahmin, is my Guru. And I am very strong. That is my firm conviction. Now, verse number 5, summary. We can identify and differentiate two people, you and me. My blood group is A, your blood group is AB. Each one has got different blood group. But no one can prove any difference in caste or jati. It is imaginary, kalpitam. It is created by the mind. Eradicate that attachment to caste. It cannot be proven. It is an imagination, ignorance, delusion. Every being in this universe, appearing universe, has a role to play. No one is insignificant. Even a small worm in the garden, it loosens the soil for the roots to go down. Every being has got a definite purpose for their existence. So we should not have anything in our mind against anybody, because they are all expressions. Everyone is an expression of that one divine. Only one is there. Only when we start thinking about that oneness, wholeness, unity among diversity, one can progress in spiritual ladder. Or else regression. Samsaram is the only gadi, rebirth. Again, rebirth, struggles, sorrows, sufferings, shed the body, again rebirth. That is what is going to happen. So seeing that oneness, there is only one, Advaita. There's no one is is not superior to the other. There is no superiority, inferiority. No scripture ever mentioned the differences in human beings. Each one is unique in one's own way. These differences are the imaginations of the ignorant, not knowing that one alone is. There are people who have studied for 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 years. Still they talk about other people. There is no difference. There's only one. In India, caste. In other Western countries, it's a white skin and black skin, because everybody is ignorant. Atman alone is only one, and that one is in all, whether it is an ant, or an elephant, or a dog, or a hippopotamus, or a human being. Only one is there. One alone is there, one alone appears as many. This is what a lot of sages and realized masters have described. One message, many messengers. This is the gist of Upanishads. I'm going to quickly show you a PowerPoint presentation, which I forgot to open it. Let me just take a second and open that for you. I should have done this earlier. Sorry. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. We are almost done with the verse number 5. So it's just a presentation that I wanted to share. I'm sure all of you can see the screen. This is what you are, Om. This is from Chinmaya Mission. This is the impressions that we have, that we get it during the dream state, from the waking state, or from previous births. This is body, mind, and intellect. You are not the body, mind, and intellect. Body perceives objects. It's not just vision, all the 5 senses. You are able to see, hear, touch, taste, smell. All those things are jobs of body. Mind feels emotions. I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm happy, I'm cheerful, I'm joyful, I'm frustrated. All these are of the mind. Intellect thinks thoughts. It analyzes, compares, doubts, clarifies. All those things are jobs of intellect. You are none of this. You are that. Tattvamasi. Look at what do we see? We go to beach. We see multiple waves. Some are ferocious, some are strong, some just touch your feet. But ultimately, what is there is just water. Water alone is. You see the unity in multiplicity? What do you see? You can say, call it with different names: bangles, earrings, toe rings, finger rings, chain. What is this one metal? It's just a gold. Different parts. One is used for planting. This is used for planting. This is for storage. This is for decoration. This is maybe for drinking. This is storage of water. This is for food. You can do any, you can use it. The functions are different, but ultimately what is only clay, nothing else. One source looks so beautiful, colorful. There is only one. Everything originated from one. Only one. You are that one. We have so many equipments. What is behind all this? Electricity. You cannot touch it, you cannot feel it, but it is there. If this fan doesn't work, it is the problem of the equipment. Electricity is still there. Atman is still there. Even in a dead body, the body is not able to express it. The body is not functional. We are not human beings having spiritual experience. We are spiritual beings having human experience. I wanted to share that with you because ultimately it is all in our mind. We want to accept, no, that's what Shankara starts with here and ends here saying that there's only one, Advaita. And over the years, lot of misunderstanding, lot of opinions, everything has been added. That is why it's important to read the original text, original written by original text that we want to see, Adi Shankara's publications. So with that, we are concluding our Maneesha Panchakam today. And any questions we can, let me finish it. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.